Hi there, Physics 20, and this U-Try will be dealing with a projectile motion issue here. Let me just share my screen here, and let's look at it here. Baseball players are often practice their swing in a batting cage, in which a pitching machine delivers the ball. If the baseball is launched with an initial velocity of 22.0 meters per second, and it's given at a degree of 30 degrees, and the player hits it at the same height from which it was launched, for how long is the baseball in the air on its way to the batter? So this is your opportunity to try this problem. Make sure you are going to use GRASP. So G for given, R for required, A for analysis, S for solution, and P for paraphrase. Just like how your textbook uses the same process in the examples. Please stop the video and actually record your answer in the same format I just told you about GRASP. Once that is done, press play and watch the rest of the video to make sure you got the same answer as I did. So under the given, we were given the whole fact of the initial velocity, and that would be a vector quantity. So make sure it always has the arrow above it. So that would make it essential for it to understand everyone that there's a little vector quantity. So in this case, the 30 degrees is the direction, and 22.0 meters per second is considered to be the magnitude. Then under the required, we're looking for time, because it says for how long is the baseball is in the air. So that's why we were looking for time. So now under the next part, under the analysis, we need to understand a diagram would help us here to understand for this. So we need to consider positive and negatives components here. So the first things first, there won't be any negative components. So keep in mind, baseballs do that projectile motion. In it, we will have VI, Y, that's your velocity, and then a VX also exists here. So VIX, and keep in mind, this makes a 30-degree angle, and in the end, we are looking for VI. So there we go. So with this, now we know that there is going to be both positive values here. So in our X direction, we have the cos of 30 times by 22. And in our Y direction, we have our sine of 30 times 22. Here are our values, 19.05 meters per second for the X, and the Y direction, 11.0 meters per second. So the next step that we need to consider is this whole fact of using a formula, which is in our formula sheet, that will help us understand what to do here. So the formula that I chose was the one that deals with dy equals to VIY times time plus 1/2 AY times time squared. So in this case, what we're going to be realizing is this pure substitution of these values in here, and we could actually figure that out. The reason why dy is 0, because it starts off from the ground, so that's why we left that as 0. Then we have 11 meters per second, because that is in the y direction. So let me just put 11.00 meters per second. I don't know the time, so change of time plus 1/2 gravity is involved here, 9.81. Can put negative, but at the end of the day, it's going to be crossed out anyways. And then time squared. Okay, so from here, we have to isolate t and solve, of course. So in this case, you will realize easiest thing to do is, well, take on the value by doing 1/2 times negative 9.81 and then move it over to make it positive. So 4.905 meters per second squared equals to, so this time on this side too, change of time squared equals to 11.00 meters per second. And that's change of time also. So now we only want one of those. So if you divide both sides by change of time, that crosses out, those cross out. And what we're going to be realizing after is we need to actually move over 4.905 now onto the other side. So that means we are left over with this currently, 4.905 meters per second squared times time equals to 11.00 meters per second. So we're going to divide both sides by our value here, 4.905 meters per second squared, divided by 4.905 meters per second squared. Okay, so 11 divided by 4.905, change of time will be 2.24 meters per second.
Okay, so
I should just say seconds because the units cross out. This crosses out, all of that. And then we're left over with seconds only. So, end of the day, we are going to just have seconds. So that's our analysis and our solutions right here now. Solution.
So the government gave him 49.
Okay, so our paraphrase, the baseball
For 50.
is in the air for 2.24 seconds.
Yeah.
If there's any other questions on this, don't hesitate to let me know. Have a great day.